You'll never heal if you keep touching the wound. Let's be real, folks. Letting someone go feels like trying to pull your own heart out while it's still beating. It's one of those things life throws at you to test your strength, your patience, and your soul. You think you're over them, and then a song plays, a memory hits, and suddenly your chest feels heavy again. But listen, my friends, this video isn't about pretending you're fine. It's about getting real with yourself and finally finding peace. Before we go any deeper, I want you to do something simple. If you've ever been stuck on someone who left, if you've ever told yourself, "I'm fine," while secretly breaking inside, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're ready to stop chasing ghosts and start chasing peace. Because what I'm about to say might sting at first, but it'll set you free if you let it. So stay with me till the end, because the truth doesn't hurt forever. It heals. Hey folks, imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a burning house, clutching a photo frame of someone who already walked out the door. The flames are rising, your lungs are screaming, but you refuse to drop it because it meant something. That's what emotional attachment is. You keep holding on, not because it's safe, but because your mind convinces you that burning for love is noble. You keep saying, maybe one day they'll come back, even though every day without them is proof that they won't. And I get it. We've all been there. You replay conversations in your head, trying to find the sentence that made them stop loving you. You stalk their profile, hoping to find signs they miss you too. You whisper to yourself, "They'll regret losing me." But deep down, you're not waiting for regret. You're waiting for a miracle. The truth is, you don't want to move on because part of you still believes that if you hold on tight enough, the universe will rewrite the story. But my friends, that's not destiny. That's denial. You see, the hardest part about letting go isn't the pain, it's the silence after. It's waking up one day and realizing there's no more message to wait for, no more maybe. And that's what scares people into clinging to false hope. But the Stoics said something powerful. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. What's hurting you isn't their absence. It's your constant reliving of what's already gone. You're not stuck because of them. You're stuck because your mind keeps replaying what it can't accept. Letting go isn't weakness. It's not cold-hearted. It's the strongest move you'll ever make. Because when you finally let them go, not half-heartedly, not just for now, but completely, you stop being their prisoner. You reclaim your time, your peace, your energy. You realize the story isn't over. It's just your turn to write the next chapter without them in it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." And I'll add, if it's not aligned, do not chase it. Because sometimes life removes people not to hurt you, but to heal you. You just don't see it yet. So my friends, take a breath. Let go of the what-ifs, the waiting, the rewinds. You deserve to be free. You deserve peace that doesn't depend on someone's text or attention. And when you finally release them fully, something amazing happens. You stop surviving the pain and start living again. Write this down in the comments. I'm free now. Say it. Feel it. Believe it. And if this message hit home, press that like button, subscribe for more Stoic truth, and stay with me. Because this is just the beginning of your freedom. Number 1, the attachment trap. You don't heal by holding on to what broke you. You heal by letting it fall away. You know, folks, the hardest thing about letting go isn't losing them. It's losing the version of yourself that only existed when they were around. It's realizing that the person who once made your world light up now feels like a ghost living rent-free in your chest. It's brutal. You wake up every morning thinking, how did something that once felt so right end like this? You scroll through old pictures, replay old moments, and you start to believe that maybe if you had said this instead of that, if you had done a little more, if you had been a little less, maybe, just maybe, they'd still be here. But my friends, that's the first lie your mind tells you, that it could have been different if you had just been more. You see, when they walked away, they didn't take your worth with them. They just revealed what you refused to see, that you were giving everything to someone who had already stopped showing up. Imagine this. You're standing on a cliff, holding a rope that's tied around their waist. They've already jumped, dangling below, no longer holding the other end. And there you are, hands bleeding, heart racing, refusing to let go. You tell yourself that if you just hold on a little longer, maybe they'll climb back up. But deep down, you know the truth. The longer you hold that rope, the more it cuts into your skin. And that's what attachment does. It keeps you tied to what's already fallen. You keep asking yourself questions like, why did they stop caring? Did I not matter? Or will they ever realize what they lost? But here's the real question. Why are you still making someone your world when they've already walked out of it? Why do you let someone live in your thoughts rent-free while you're paying the price in sleepless nights, broken confidence, and endless what-ifs? I'll tell you why, because your mind is addicted to them. It's not love anymore, it's habit. It's like trying to quit a drug your brain still craves, even though you know it's killing you. Every memory, every maybe someday, releases a small dose of emotional dopamine, and your mind tricks you into chasing that high. That's why it's so hard to let go, not because they're irreplaceable, but because your emotions got rewired around their presence. The Stoics would call that false attachment. Epictetus said, "When you are attached to something beyond your control, you make yourself its slave." And isn't that the truth? When you can't detach, you don't love, you serve. You become a prisoner to thoughts that don't serve your peace. You start confusing obsession with devotion, pain with passion, and emptiness with meaning. But let's break that lie right now, my friends. They're not your destiny. They're not your missing half. You were whole long before they appeared, and you'll be whole long after they fade. The idea that you need them to feel complete is an illusion. They didn't complete you. They just distracted you from seeing that you already were. And here's another truth that stings. They're not as special as your mind makes them out to be. That's your attachment talking. You've built a temple in your head for a person who's probably just out there living their life, not even realizing how tightly you're still holding on. You've turned ordinary moments into sacred memories, replaying them like divine miracles. But in reality, they were just human, imperfect, flawed, scared, and selfish, just like the rest of us. It's okay to admit that you miss them. It's okay to feel the ache. What's not okay is to build your identity around the absence of someone who doesn't even see the chaos they left behind. You deserve more than being haunted by memories that no longer serve you. You deserve peace that isn't tied to anyone's presence or absence. Yes, it's going to hurt when you start letting go. You'll feel like you're losing a part of yourself. You'll feel empty at first. You'll feel like your heart is breaking all over again. But that pain, that's the sound of your soul healing. That's what growth feels like. Pain is the body's way of letting go of what no longer belongs inside. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." In other words, the pain isn't because they left. It's because you keep believing your life can't be beautiful without them. That belief is the real prison. So, my friends, I want you to ask yourself something deep tonight. Are you willing to trade your peace for a memory? Are you willing to keep hurting for someone who's already at peace with your absence? Because once you see the truth, really see it, you'll realize that letting go isn't losing them. It's finding you. And here's the beauty of it. The moment you release them, truly release them, you make space for something incredible. You make space for self-respect, clarity, freedom. You stop living in reaction to the past and start responding to the present. You stop asking, will they come back? And start saying, why would I ever go back? So let them go. Not because they deserve peace, but because you do. Let them go, because every day you hold on to what's gone, you deny yourself the future that's waiting. Let them go, because clinging to what hurt you isn't love, it's fear. And trust me, when you finally cut that rope and stand on that cliff with bleeding hands and an open heart, you'll feel something powerful. Lightness. You'll realize the weight was never love, it was attachment. And you'll finally breathe again. Type this in the comments right now. I release what doesn't serve me. Say it like you mean it. Show yourself that you're done living in chains. Show the world that your peace is no longer negotiable, because this is the beginning of something bigger, something stronger. Stay with me, my friends, because what's coming next will remind you why walking away isn't the end. It's the start of your rebirth. Number 2, why it hurts so much. Attachment is the root of all suffering. My friends, let's not sugarcoat this. It hurts because it meant something. It hurts because when you gave your heart, you didn't hold back. You built dreams around them, routines, laughter, plans. You let them in so deep that when they left, it didn't feel like they walked away. It felt like they tore something out of you. And that's what makes letting go feel impossible. It's not just about losing a person. It's about losing the version of yourself that existed with them. Imagine this. Your heart is a house, and they once lived in every room. Their laughter echoes in the hallway. Their touch still lingers on the walls. Their scent still floats through the air. Then one day, they're gone. But you still walk around, cleaning the rooms, keeping the lights on, waiting for them to come home. You don't even realize that the house isn't haunted by them. It's haunted by your unwillingness to close the door. And that's why it hurts so deeply, because you don't just lose someone you love, you lose the identity that was tied to loving them. You lose the comfort, the safety, the illusion of us. But here's the truth most people run from. The pain isn't permanent. It's just your body and your mind going through withdrawal. You're detoxing from emotional addiction. Love releases chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and when that bond breaks, your brain screams for another hit. It's biology, not destiny. You're not crazy for missing them, you're just human. But the problem is, we confuse pain with meaning. We start thinking, if it hurts this much, it must be real love. No, my friends, real love nourishes, obsession depletes. The pain isn't proof that it was right. It's proof that you gave too much of yourself to someone who wasn't ready to carry that kind of love. And that realization, that they weren't who you built them up to be, cuts even deeper than the breakup itself. You might find yourself saying things like, but we had something special, or they promised they'd never leave. But words are cheap when someone's heart isn't steady. You believed their potential, not their consistency. You fell in love with who they could be, not who they really were. And that's why you're suffering now, because your heart is grieving a fantasy while reality keeps moving on. It's okay to admit that it hurts. It's okay to cry, to shake, to question everything. But don't mistake pain for punishment. It's a process. Pain is the body's alarm that it's time to release what doesn't belong. It's life telling you you were meant to outgrow this. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Your pain right now feels like truth, but it's just a perspective blurred by attachment. You think you can't live without them, but you already are. You think your world ended, but the sun still rises. You think you'll never love again, but one day someone will touch your soul in ways this person never could, and you'll smile because you'll realize that this pain was your awakening. The mind hates endings. It wants resolution, a reason, a full stop. But life doesn't always give closure wrapped in pretty words. Sometimes the only closure you'll ever get is understanding that silence is your answer. Sometimes peace begins when explanation ends. And yes, it'll hurt to accept that. You'll feel an emptiness where their energy used to be. You'll catch yourself reaching for your phone, waiting for a message that's never coming. You'll replay the last conversation in your head, trying to decode what went wrong. But here's what the Stoics taught. You can't control their choices, only your reaction. The more you fight, the longer you suffer. So instead of asking, why did they leave? Start asking, why am I still holding on to someone who's already gone? Because that question changes everything. That's where your power begins. When you start facing the pain instead of running from it, you start healing. You realize that pain is not the enemy. Resistance is. The more you resist what happened, the more you prolong it. But when you sit with it, when you breathe through it, when you whisper to yourself, it's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel this. Something shifts. The pain starts to dissolve, slowly but surely. You're not weak for hurting, you're human for feeling, and you're powerful for facing it. The ones who heal aren't those who forget. They're the ones who face the darkness without letting it define them. So tonight, if you find yourself missing them, don't fight it, just breathe. Remember, it's not love you're missing. It's the comfort of what you once knew. But comfort is a trap when it comes from someone who no longer values your peace. Don't let nostalgia make you forget what broke you. You'll realize something profound once you stop chasing what is left. The pain that once felt unbearable will become your teacher. It'll show you the parts of yourself that needed healing long before they came into your life. It'll show you that love doesn't hurt. Attachment does. So let the pain come, but don't let it stay. Let it pass through you like a storm. Because when it clears, you'll see something beautiful. Yourself. The part of you that survived. The part of you that never gave up. The part that's been waiting for you to come home. Write this down in the comments. My pain has a purpose. Show yourself that this isn't the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Show the world that you can rise from what broke you. Because when you understand why it hurts so much, you stop fearing the pain, and you start using it as fuel. Stay with me, my friends, because what's coming next will show you how to turn that pain into power. Number 3, the ego's illusion of control. Ego says, once everything falls into place, I'll feel peace. Spirit says, find peace and everything will fall into place. My friends, here's where it gets real. Most people think they're heartbroken because they miss the person, but in truth, what's really breaking them is their ego, the illusion of control that refuses to die. You see, when someone walks away, your ego doesn't grieve the love. It grieves the loss of power. It screams, how could they leave me? After everything I gave, after everything I was, how dare they not see my worth? That voice in your head, that's not your soul talking, that's your ego, begging for validation from a place that already rejected you. Imagine this, you're standing in front of a locked door, pounding on it, demanding answers. Your hands are bruised, your knuckles are raw, and your pride is bleeding. You keep saying, they owe me an explanation. But here's the truth you don't want to hear. Sometimes the explanation doesn't exist. Sometimes people leave not because you did something wrong, but because they weren't strong enough to stay. And the more you keep knocking, the more you keep denying yourself the peace that comes from walking away. Your ego wants to win. It wants to prove something. It wants to show them what they lost, make them regret, make them crawl back. It wants the last word, the last laugh, the last upper hand. But let me ask you something, my friends. Why are you still fighting battles that only exist inside your mind? Why are you trying to prove your worth to someone who stopped seeing it a long time ago? You can't heal by winning. You heal by surrendering. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." And right now, your adversity isn't them, it's your own ego. This is your battlefield. Because the truth is, your pride is addicted to control. It keeps whispering, "They'll come back if I just do this. They'll regret it once they see how well I'm doing." But that's not peace, that's performance. And peace doesn't need an audience. Let's be honest, folks. We've all been there, checking our phones, pretending we're not waiting for a message that never comes, posting pictures just to look unbothered, pretending we've moved on while secretly hoping they're watching. That's the ego's game. It feeds off illusion, not reality. It keeps you dancing in circles, chasing shadows of what once was, while convincing you that control equals closure. But closure doesn't come from them. It comes from the moment you stop needing them to explain, to apologize, or to regret. You don't need closure to heal. You need acceptance. And acceptance doesn't mean weakness. It means you've finally stopped negotiating with what's already gone. Think about it like this. If you drop a glass and it shatters, you don't try to reassemble the shards one by one. You don't pick them up and glue them together just to say, "Look, it's fixed." No. You sweep it up, throw it away, and you learn to be careful with what you hold next. The ego, though, it'll make you pick up every broken piece, even if you're bleeding, just to prove that it could have been perfect. But perfection isn't the point. Peace is. And here's something most people never realize. The need for control comes from fear. Fear of being forgotten, fear of not mattering, fear that their absence means you weren't enough. But listen, my friends, their choice doesn't define your value. Your reaction does. The moment you stop trying to rewrite the ending, you begin writing a new story. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's what letting go of control really means, realizing that peace isn't found when they come back. It's found when you no longer need them to. Ask yourself this: what are you really trying to hold on to? Are you trying to hold on to love, or to the version of yourself that needed to be chosen? Because the moment you stop trying to be seen and start seeing yourself, you'll understand something profound. They didn't reject you. They just revealed the part of you that still sought validation outside of yourself. It's not easy to admit that, I know. The ego hates surrender. It wants to look strong, even while it's falling apart. It tells you, don't let them think they won. But this isn't about winning or losing. It's about evolving. You don't have to get even. You have to get free. You don't need to prove your worth. You need to remember it. And when you finally let go of the illusion of control, when you stop checking who's watching, stop hoping they'll regret, stop replaying conversations that can't change, something incredible happens. The noise fades. The storm in your chest quiets. You start realizing how much of your energy you were wasting trying to control what was never yours to control. And that silence you feared so much, that's not emptiness, that's peace. So if you're sitting there tonight, tempted to text them, tempted to stalk, tempted to prove you've moved on, stop. Take a deep breath and remember this truth. Every time you chase validation from them, you hand your peace away for free. You don't need their attention to feel powerful. You don't need their apology to be whole. You don't need to win. You just need to let go. Because the moment you do, the universe shifts. life starts aligning with your peace instead of your pain. And that, my friends, is real control. Not over them, but over yourself. Write this in the comments. I let go of control. Show yourself that you've outgrown the need to prove anything to anyone. Show the world that your silence is louder than any reaction. Because the moment you stop fighting for control, life starts flowing in your favor. Stay with me, my friends, because next we'll uncover the moment of truth, the exact point where letting go turns from pain into power. Number 4. The moment of truth. Radical acceptance. Freedom begins the moment you stop arguing with reality. My friends, this is the part most people never reach. The moment where fantasy finally collapses and truth stands tall. It's not the easiest moment. In fact, it's brutal. It feels like standing barefoot in the wreckage of your old life, realizing you can't rebuild what burned down. It's the moment when your mind stops saying maybe and starts whispering, it's over. And I know how hard that hits, because the human heart doesn't like endings. It likes stories. It likes believing there's one more chapter waiting, one more chance to fix it. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can ever say is enough. Imagine this, folks. You've been swimming in an ocean, chasing after a ship that already sailed. You keep pushing, kicking, calling out their name, but the distance only grows. Your arms ache, your lungs burn, and finally you realize they're not turning back. They're gone. That's the moment of truth. That's the point where you either keep drowning in what could have been, or you finally roll onto your back, look up at the sky, and let the waves carry you back to shore. Radical acceptance is that surrender, not to weakness, but to reality. It's saying, yes, it hurts. Yes, it's unfair, but it's done. It's facing the pain without excuses, without stories, without the illusion that tomorrow they'll suddenly remember your worth. Because that's the lie that keeps you trapped, the belief that pain can be negotiated with, that if you wait long enough, suffer long enough, love hard enough, they'll return. But reality isn't a negotiation. It's a truth that demands your respect, and once you stop fighting it, you start healing. We humans cling to what's familiar even when it hurts. We convince ourselves that acceptance means giving up, when in fact it means finally taking your power back. Because as long as you resist reality, you're enslaved to it. You're like a bird sitting in an open cage, screaming about the door, not realizing you can fly anytime you want. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" What if, my friends, this heartbreak isn't a punishment, but a path? What if letting them go is the only way life could make room for who you're meant to become? You see, pain is not the problem. Resistance is. When you fight what is, you break twice. Once from the loss, and once from the denial. And I know it's terrifying to accept, because acceptance means facing silence. It means deleting the texts you kept reading, throwing away the things you swore you'd keep forever. It means letting go of the version of them that existed only in your imagination. That version that said they'd never leave, that they'd always fight for you, that they'd always care. But the truth is, that person no longer exists. You've been holding on to their ghost, not their reality. Acceptance doesn't come in a single moment. It comes in waves, sometimes soft, sometimes crushing. One day you feel strong, the next day you're back in the pain. That's okay. Healing isn't linear. It's messy, it's human, it's real. But every time you tell yourself, "I accept that it's over," even if your heart trembles as you say it, you're teaching your soul how to stand on its own again. There's a quote by Epictetus, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is where that truth becomes real. You can let the end define you, or you can let it refine you. You can sit in the ashes mourning the fire, or you can look around and realize the fire didn't destroy you. It just revealed what couldn't burn. And yes, acceptance hurts. It feels like ripping off the final band-aid. It feels like standing in front of the mirror, saying out loud, "They're not coming back." But when you do that, when you finally face that raw truth, something powerful happens. The pain peaks, and then it starts to fade, slowly, quietly. It doesn't vanish overnight, but it loses its grip, because the truth, once faced, loses its power to control you. Think about it. All those sleepless nights, those endless thoughts, those waves of emotion, they're all the mind's resistance to what already is. Once you stop fighting, the storm starts to settle. You realize that what you were chasing wasn't love anymore. It was closure, validation, understanding. But none of those live in the past. They only exist in the present moment, in you. So, my friends, radical acceptance isn't about saying, "I'm fine." It's about saying, "It happened. It hurt, but I'm still here." It's not about erasing memories. It's about removing the illusion that those memories still define you. You are not what you lost. You are what survived. You'll know you've reached this stage when you stop checking their profile, not because you forced yourself to stop, but because you genuinely don't care anymore. When their name crosses your mind and it feels like a cloud drifting past. No sting, no weight, just space. That's peace. And that peace doesn't come from pretending you're strong. It comes from accepting that you already are. So today, stop trying to understand the why. Stop rewriting the story in your head. Stop asking, what if? The truth is, you can't heal what you keep reimagining. You can't build your future while worshipping your past. It's time to let the story end. Write this down in the comments. I accept what is. Say it like a declaration, not from weakness, but from power. Because when you accept the truth, you're no longer a victim of the story. You become the author of what comes next. Stay with me, my friends, because next we're going to expose the biggest illusion your heart still clings to, the lies we tell ourselves to avoid letting go. Number 5. The lies we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves stories in order to live. My friends, let's be honest. The reason we stay stuck isn't always because they hurt us. Sometimes it's because we keep lying to ourselves just to avoid facing the truth. The mind is clever like that. When the truth feels unbearable, it builds illusions. Soft, comforting lies that keep us warm while secretly freezing our progress. We whisper things like, maybe they'll change, or maybe this distance is just temporary, or that classic line, if it's meant to be, it'll be. But let me break this gently and truthfully. That phrase has trapped more people than it's healed. Imagine you're holding on to a rope that's slowly burning your hands. You tell yourself, maybe if I hold on a little longer, the fire will cool down. But fire doesn't cool down. It only consumes. The longer you grip it, the deeper it burns. That's exactly what happens when you keep feeding lies to your heart. You think you're protecting yourself from pain, but really, you're just delaying the healing. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that they'll wake up one day, realize your worth, and come running back. You picture the moment, the text, the apology, the "I was wrong, I miss you." You imagine them standing in front of you, eyes full of regret. But my friends, that fantasy isn't love. It's ego therapy. It's the part of you that wants validation more than peace, because deep down, you don't want them back. You just want to stop feeling like you weren't enough. Another lie we cling to is that time alone will magically heal everything. We sit there, waiting for some invisible force to take the pain away while doing nothing to face it. But time doesn't heal. Truth does. Time only numbs what you refuse to confront. You can spend months, even years, telling yourself you've moved on, yet one random song can still break you because you never actually processed the loss. You just buried it alive. And here's another dangerous lie. They're different. They didn't mean to hurt me. Listen, my friends. People show you who they are in how they treat you when it's no longer convenient for them. You can keep rewriting the story in your head, blaming circumstances, bad timing, confusion. But the truth is simple. If they wanted to be there, they would be. Love doesn't hide behind excuses. It doesn't disappear when things get hard. It shows up consistently, clearly, and without conditions. The Stoics had a way of slicing through illusion with truth. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." In other words, as long as you keep believing your comforting lies, you'll never make space for clarity. You'll keep living in a mental rerun, hoping for a new ending that will never come. Let me paint you a picture. You're standing in front of a mirror, but it's fogged up. You can barely see your reflection, but instead of wiping it clean, you keep drawing hearts in the mist, pretending that's enough. That's what self-deception looks like. You choose illusions over clarity because clarity hurts at first. But fog always fades when you stop trying to decorate it. Another common lie we tell ourselves is that moving on means we didn't care. You think, if I let go, it means what we had didn't matter. But that's not true. Letting go doesn't erase love. It just redefines it. It turns it into something sacred, a chapter, not a prison. You can honor what it was without clinging to what it's not anymore. You can love the memory while releasing the hold it has on your future. That's not betrayal. That's maturity. And let's be honest, folks, some of you keep lying to yourselves because the truth is terrifying. The truth is that they might never come back. The truth is that you might never get an apology. The truth is that closure might not look like what you imagined. But you know what else is true? You'll survive. You'll heal. You'll grow stronger than you ever thought possible. Because truth doesn't destroy you, it liberates you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change." That's the power of truth. It doesn't weaken you, it transforms you. Every time you face one of your own lies, you become a little freer. Every time you stop romanticizing the past, you open a door to peace. Here's what I want you to understand. Truth is not the enemy, it's the medicine. It stings at first, but it's what stops the infection from spreading. Lies, on the other hand, are sugar-coated poison. They taste sweet going down, but they kill your growth slowly. You deserve honesty, even if it hurts, because pain from truth ends, but pain from lies lasts forever. So take a deep breath, my friends. Ask yourself, what lies am I still telling myself right now? Am I still pretending they'll come back? Am I still waiting for closure from someone who's already moved on? Am I still blaming fate just so I don't have to take responsibility for my healing? Be brutally honest, because honesty is where freedom starts. You'll know you're breaking free when you start choosing peace over potential, truth over fantasy, acceptance over illusion. When you stop rewriting the past, you start rewriting your future. Write this down in the comments. I choose truth over illusion. Say it out loud. Let it echo in your mind. Show yourself that you're done with the lies that keep you small. Show the world that you're ready to face life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Because what comes next, my friends, is even more powerful. It's the part where pain turns into freedom. Stay with me, because now we enter the stage that every soul secretly craves, the moment you realize how freeing it truly is to let go. Number 6, the freedom after letting go. The day you stop chasing is the day they start noticing. But by then, you won't care anymore. My friends, this is where everything starts to shift, where pain begins to lose its grip and peace quietly walks in. You see, freedom doesn't come the day they apologize or the day they realize what they lost. Freedom comes the day you stop waiting for either. It's that silent, almost sacred moment when you wake up and realize you're not thinking about them anymore. Not because you forced yourself to forget, but because you finally remembered yourself. Letting go feels like death at first. The death of a story, the death of a dream. You'll resist it because your heart still wants to believe there's something left to fix. But once you surrender, truly surrender, the air feels different. The noise in your mind quiets down. You start noticing the world again, the color of the sky, the sound of your own laughter, the rhythm of your breath. It's like your soul takes its first breath after being underwater for too long. Imagine this, folks. You've been carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Every what if, every memory, every regret, all packed inside. You've been walking uphill with it, exhausted, broken, angry that the climb never ends. Then one day, you just stop. You drop the bag, and you realize something incredible. The mountain wasn't killing you. The weight was. That's what letting go does. It doesn't change the mountain. It just sets you free from what you didn't need to carry. You start to see how much energy you wasted replaying conversations that don't exist anymore. How much peace you traded trying to read silence like it was a secret message. You realize that closure was never in their words. It was in your decision to stop needing them. You understand that you can't force someone to love you, respect you, or stay, but you can refuse to keep betraying yourself for their absence. There's something magnetic about peace. Once you find it, you stop chasing chaos. You no longer crave attention, or the drama, or the emotional highs and lows that used to feel like passion. You begin to see that peace isn't boring. It's beautiful. It's quiet strength. It's standing in your truth without needing anyone to notice. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And that's exactly what this stage is about. Courage. It takes courage to stop looking back. It takes courage to stand alone, to say, "I release you," even when your heart still trembles. But the brave always find freedom because they understand something the fearful don't. That letting go isn't losing love, it's reclaiming your energy from where it no longer grows. You'll start noticing subtle changes in yourself. You'll stop checking their social media, not because you had to delete it, but because it no longer feeds you. You'll hear a song that once tore you apart and find yourself humming along without tears. You'll pass a place that used to hurt, and this time you'll smile. Not because you forgot, but because you made peace with remembering. That's real healing. Freedom after letting go isn't loud. It's not fireworks or victory speeches. It's quiet mornings. It's peace of mind. It's realizing you no longer need revenge, explanation, or even closure, because you've outgrown the version of yourself that needed them. The truth is, you never really lose anyone. You just lose the illusion of who you thought they were, the version your heart created to survive. But when that illusion fades, what's left is clarity, and clarity feels like freedom. You realize that what you were chasing wasn't them. It was the feeling of being seen, wanted, chosen, and now you can give that to yourself. And here's the secret most people never learn. Once you stop chasing what's gone, life starts bringing you what's right. It's almost ironic. The moment you stop running after someone who doesn't want you, you start attracting everything that's meant for you. Peace has a strange way of calling in blessings, real love, true friendships, opportunities, joy, because the energy you used to spend on chasing now flows into becoming. You'll wake up one day and realize that the silence you once feared has become your sanctuary. You'll look back and wonder why you fought so hard to keep what was only meant to teach you, and you'll understand, not in theory but in truth, that sometimes the biggest blessing is the goodbye you never wanted. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look." That strength, my friends, is peace. It was never gone. It was just buried under layers of attachment, pain, and illusion. Once you remove all that, you don't just find peace, you become it. So if you're listening right now and you're still afraid of letting go, remember this: you're not losing them, you're gaining yourself. You're not ending something, you're beginning again. The version of you that's been holding on deserves to rest, deserves to breathe, deserves to live. Freedom doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without pain. It means being grateful for what it taught you, and strong enough to walk forward without carrying it. You stop needing them to miss you, because now you're too busy enjoying the peace they once disturbed. Write this in the comments: peace is my power. Say it, feel it, let it be your reminder that you've survived the hardest part, and now life is finally yours again. Show the world that you didn't just let them go. You let go of everything that kept you small. Stay with me, my friends, because next we'll talk about what happens after freedom, how you rebuild your power and rise stronger than ever before. Number 7. Rebuilding your power. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. My friends, this is where the healing becomes transformation. This is where silence turns into strength. Because once you've let go, once you've tasted that first breath of freedom, you start remembering something you forgot for too long: your power. Not the kind that comes from control or attention, but the quiet kind. The power that comes from knowing that no one can take away your peace again unless you hand it to them. When you've been broken, you start to see the world differently. You notice that pain can either make you bitter or make you wise. You can stay a victim, or you can rise as your own savior. And I know it's tempting to stay in the shadows, to hide behind the pain, to say, "I'm not ready yet." But listen, my friends, you're not supposed to feel ready. Strength is built in the moments you don't feel strong. Imagine a muscle. When it tears, it hurts. But that's exactly how it grows back stronger. That's you right now. Every tear, every sleepless night, every wave of emotion that felt like too much, all of it was part of your rebuilding. You weren't breaking down, you were breaking open. When you were with them, maybe you forgot how powerful you really are. You might have built your world around their attention, their validation, their love. You made them your mirror. And when they left, your reflection shattered. But now, piece by piece, you're building your own reflection. One that doesn't depend on anyone's gaze. One that doesn't fade when someone walks away. The Stoics believed in one thing above all: mastery of the self. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they all said it in their own way. The external world will always be chaos, but your mind is your kingdom. And the moment you learn to rule it, you become untouchable. Rebuilding your power starts small. It's in the way you get up in the morning when you don't feel like it. It's in the way you choose silence over reacting. It's when you stop checking if they've watched your story and instead start writing your own. You begin to see that your worth isn't measured by who chooses you. It's measured by how you choose yourself. Let me tell you something powerful, my friends. Peace is not passive. It's not sitting in the corner pretending not to care. Peace is active. It's discipline. It's strength. It's the ability to walk through storms and still keep your inner calm. It's knowing you could respond, but choosing not to. That's real power. And here's the most beautiful thing. Once you rebuild your power, the same situations that used to break you won't even touch you anymore. You'll look back at the person you used to be, the one who begged for love, who waited for closure, who couldn't sleep without their validation, and you'll feel compassion, not shame. You'll realize that version of you was doing their best with the awareness they had. But now you've evolved. You've learned that peace doesn't beg, power doesn't chase, love doesn't have to hurt. When you reach this point, you stop asking, "Why did they leave?" and start asking, "Why did I settle for less than I deserved?" You stop wishing for their return and start thanking life for their exit. Because if they hadn't left, you might never have discovered the version of you that could stand alone, unshaken and radiant. And yes, there will be days when you still feel a little hollow. That's okay. Even healed hearts echo sometimes. But that emptiness isn't weakness. It's space. Space for peace, for purpose, for something better to grow. Because the truth is, you were never broken. You were just shedding layers that weren't you anymore. So if you're standing here today, listening to these words, I want you to take a deep breath and realize how far you've come. You didn't just survive, you evolved. You've become the calm after your own storm. You've turned pain into perspective. You've learned to stand so tall that the same chaos that once swallowed you now bows before your silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, that's it. Stop waiting to become. Start being. Stop hoping they'll see your worth. Start showing yourself. Rebuild your routine, rebuild your peace, rebuild your strength. Because the world doesn't need another person chasing what's gone. It needs another stoic, calm, grounded, powerful. Now is your time to rise. Get back to the gym. Go for that walk. Write that journal entry. Build your habits, your peace, your discipline. Make your silence your statement. Let your growth be the loudest thing about you. And remember this, peace isn't found at the end of a relationship. It's found when you stop letting relationships define you. You were the light all along, my friends. They just couldn't handle the brightness. So stand tall. You're not waiting for anyone anymore. You're leading yourself. You're walking into a life that's lighter, freer, stronger, because you finally learned that power isn't something you chase. It's something you become. Write this in the comments. I am my power. Say it like a promise. Let the world know you're done dimming your light to fit into someone else's shadow. If this message hit your heart today, press that like button, not for me, but as a symbol of your rebirth. Subscribe for more truth, for more strength, for more reminders of the power that's already inside you. And share this with someone who needs to hear it, because you never know who's still stuck in the dark, waiting for the courage you've just found. You've let go, you've healed, and now, my friends, you rise.